Every day, we strive to do more and be the best versions of ourselves. It's not an easy task, but success is available for each of us. Welcome to the Swag University podcast, where each week we explore insightful messages, strategies, and tips to help you level up in life. Your host, Dr. Phildra Swagger, creative strategist and mindset coach, will empower you with the tools you need to create the life and business you desire, while providing inspirational insights to the woman who wants to see her destiny manifested daily. So now, let's level up with Dr. Swag.
Hey, everybody. It's your girl, Dr. Swag. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. I want to talk to you today about really avoiding your regrets, avoiding having a life where, you look back and have a woulda, shoulda, coulda, wish I had moment. That's not what life should really be about. Life should be about realizing your full potential. And you can do that. You can do that. Most people look back and wonder, did I accomplish all that I could have accomplished? And my question to you is, what do you want to master? What do you want to master in your life? How do you move forward in creating the life that you want, the life that you have dreamed of, the life that you envision for yourself, and the life that radiates who you are on the inside? That's what it's all about. It's all about. And I like to share a story or have some type of analogy for you. And, I was pondering and wondering who would make a good example. And I went to a fairy tale. And I think The Little Mermaid is it. Because when we think of, at least when I think of Ariel was a free-spirited mermaid. She wanted to go off on the adventure with her buddies, like we all do, Flounder and Sebastian, to make her dreams come true and save her dad's kingdom against the witch Ursula, right? And we all have Ursulas in our lives. And if we can get past the Ursula, we can create what it is that we want. But what we have to realize that Ursula is intended to make us stronger. So we have to grow past that, go past that, and really press forward, because there's no dream that we have that's too big or too small if we persevere, right? And so today, I just want to give you a few tips on realizing your full potential. And, I stick with that theme because in business, in life, in your relationships, I want you to be able to live out loud, live where you are loving and living your best life to the highest degree. So whatever it is that you're dreaming, do like Ursula. Ariel. Ursula is the villain, okay? But do like Ariel and dream of having freedom. Fall in love with a human, right? And explore the world. And so that, all your fantasies can come true. So let's get started and see what kind of tips I can help you consider today as you realize your full potential. And the first one is, I want you to take an inventory of yourself. And by take an inventory of yourself, I mean assess your strengths and your weaknesses. What are your greatest potentials, right? And when I say your great potential is the thing that you love to be involved in. Most of our strengths can be applied to any endeavor that we focus on, but the things that we do that we love, those are the things that will continue to propel you forward, So the first step in identifying your strengths are really asking yourself, what are you better at than any or nearly anyone you know? Or what comes easy for you? What are you best at? What makes your heart sing, right? Those are your strengths. And when you look at your strengths on your inventory, those are going to be the things where you really vibrate the highest, right? But On the opposite end of that, you also have to look at what your weaknesses are. And when you consider what your weaknesses are, these are the things that sometimes we avoid because it takes a little extra effort for us to come over. But if you understand what your strengths are as well as your weaknesses, you can build the team and the supports around you to be successful. Ariel had her two buddies with her, Flounder and Sebastian, right? And along the journey, they would encourage her. They would give her tips on what worked. Flounder being the adorable fish that he was, and Sebastian, he was a singing crab, and they always had a word or a skit or something they could share that they never left her side, right? Along the journey. And that's how our strengths are. Our strengths are going to always be with us, whether it's a skill you have, a relationship you have, or you've developed a particular talent. But staying focused on those strengths so you can build on your weaknesses, right? Rely on your weaknesses, on your strengths to overcome your weaknesses, and pull into your network so that you can accommodate for the weaknesses. What is your weakness will be someone else's strength. So your strengths are someone else's weaknesses. And when you can pull those together, you'll have a really good assessment of where you are. So then I want to ask you, what do you like? It's not just about effort and skill of overcoming your weaknesses and building on your strengths. It's about putting in enough time to be successful. That's easier to do when you enjoy what you're doing and you understand what it is that you're doing. You might have great potential to be the world's best basketball player or the world's greatest accountant, the next big entrepreneur. But if you don't enjoy it, if you can't stay in the game, you'll never be able to do it. So you have to really find something that you like to do and you want to do it. And then have the confidence in it, knowing that what you do is something that you're really good at, that you're really strong at. Know what you do and know what options are available to you within that sector and within that area. So if you want to be an entrepreneur in the area of business startups, can you start any business? Are you really good at starting businesses in the hair industry or businesses in the restaurant industry? Are you really good at starting a coaching firm and working with executives? Are you more effective working with people on personal issues or personal levels? Know the gamut and the stretch of what it is that you like to do. They say the money is in the niches. So understand what you like to do and how you service people or communities or organizations based on that thing that you enjoy. So then the next tip, a question I should challenge you with, is what do you want to accomplish? So now that you know your strengths, your weaknesses, and your likes, you can decide what it is that you want to master. You can't do much without making this important decision. Everything going forward depends on the decision of what it is that you want to accomplish. Now, considering what it is that you want to accomplish, I want to encourage you to do something. You know what your strengths are, you know what your weaknesses are, and you know what you like. When you really think about that, then challenge yourself by asking, who are the greats in this area? Who's done it before? Who's gone ahead of me and left footprints or breadcrumbs, if we're going to stay with the fairy tale theme, right? Who's dropping those breadcrumbs that you can pick up? So I've said it before, read. Whether you're reading a paper book or you're listening to books on digital format, study the greats, get the information. Because if you haven't been down that path before, you might have to unlearn some things. right? You might have a whole idea about what business is and what entrepreneurship is and what being a leader is, what it means to start a particular business or work in a particular industry. It could be completely off course, or you could be just a little bit off course, or you could have a particular perception that needs to just be refined. So as you study whatever it is that you want to accomplish, know that you might have to unlearn some things, that you might have to rewrite the script or the business plan that moves you forward, right? And when you do that, know that the pruning helps you grow. It's like tilling the soil, right? Because now you have new ideas, you have new thoughts. And you remember, I like to remind you too, Romans 12, 2, renewing your mind, right? Do not conform to the ways of the world, but to transform your mind by the renewing of your mind. And new information is renewing your mind. I want you to renew your mind, yes, in the Word of God, but also renew your mind in what it is that you have declared your area of expertise. So always stay growing, right? Always stay growing. So what do you want to accomplish? And when you figure that out, figure out how to go forward in it by studying the greats and unlearning any misconceptions that you might have. Rewrite the script so that you can continue to move forward in that area. So the other thing that can help you fully realize your potential is to avoid distractions. Now, distractions are really the enemy of progress. We all have distractions. We all have things that we enjoy doing. So there are positive and negative distractions, right? A positive distraction provides temporary amusement, or it might even be a positive engagement. You might be right in the middle of responding to a RFP or developing content for your online courses or putting together new strategies to work with your coaching clients. And in comes your daughter with a big announcement about what happened at school or in her e-learning school, whatever environment that you're in, right? But is that a distraction? Yes, it is. But you want to be able to manage that distraction. Stop what you're doing. Engage with your daughter. And when that period of involvement with her is done, then come back and focus. And it might be that what you have to do to come back to focus is to review what you've already done and start again, right? But we don't want to get into negative distractions. You don't want to be like, oh my God, where was I? And let bad energy set in. It shifts your mindset. We want to make sure that you stay in a positive mindset to keep your focus and select those a task that move you forward. Now, another recommendation I would make about avoiding distractions is sometimes you have to change your environment. Maybe on a monthly or quarterly basis, you create a personal think tank day. And a personal think tank day is, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and invest in one night at the hotel. You can check in at the hotel at 3:00. Right? Sometimes a little earlier. So ask for an early arrival where you can check in at noon and check out at noon the next day and take that 24 hours with a real agenda and get done what you need to get done, right? So listen, self-care, business progress, business development is not being selfish, right? That's giving yourself what you need in order to accomplish what it is that you have declared as a goal for you. See, you are responsible for creating and manifesting the vision that you have for your life. Nobody else. Just you. Just me. Right? So avoid distractions when you're on a journey, right? Next major tip I want to recommend for you is to find a mentor. You cannot reach your ultimate potential alone. You need a team and you need a mentor. So what's the difference? A team are those people around you that are cheering with you. They share the vision. They're in the journey on the growth pattern with you. That mentor is a person that's been there. The mentor is the person that sees the aptitude in you, not just potential, the outright skills, the outright ability, the talent, the opportunity for you to be more than you can see for yourself, right? So you have a mentor to help you shave off years of your learning curve. And you want to seek out the best in the field and make contact with them, okay, so I'm gonna tell you the story of my mentor. And she's been on the show, and I fondly share her story, and she does too, in different places. So I am a graduate of the University of South Florida, and while in grad school, there was this woman on campus that I just thought was everything. She embodied what I define as excellence and success. Her name is Paulette, Dr. Paulette Walker. And so one day, after having observed her for a while, I went to her office and I closed the door. I said, I need to close the door. I want to talk to you. And I said, well, Dr. Walker, I want you to be my mentor. And I want you to be my mentor because by the time I graduate, I want to be a wife, a mother, and a Delta. Right? And she looked at me as if I had a third eye in the middle of my forehead. And she took her glasses off and put it on the table and said, young lady, what is your name? She had no clue who I was, but I knew who she was. And I knew that what she had, I needed, and she could invest in me in a way that would help me develop into the woman that I am today. I will tell you, my first publication, my first book, I'm a co-author on with Dr. Paulette Walker, okay? Not only did I meet my husband, which was one of her former students, of course she was at the wedding. And when both of our children were born, she was at the hospital. So I was a wife and a mother. And I'm going to give you her full title. Her full title is Dr. Paulette Walker, 25th National President of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated, of which I am a member. And by walking in her office that day, randomly to her, but to me in God's divine order, and sharing with her that I wanted her to help me be a better student, but also a wife, mother, and a member of Delta Sigma Theta. To this day, opportunities from her mentorship still come into my life. And on a regular basis, she just sows into me. She corrects me. She corrects my children. She is my mentor. And it's so valuable that you have a mentor that resonates with who you are and where you want to be so they can help guide that path. Major tip that I want to give you. Find a mentor. So my next tip is to focus on commitment. And focusing on commitment is to develop yourself and develop your mindset and your skill set so you overcome obstacles and put in the necessary time and commitment to avoid distractions, hear from your mentor, build on your strengths and weaknesses, understand what it is that you like to do, understand what it is that you bring to the world, because people want you to solve a problem. The world wants you to contribute to it. And as you contribute and as you give, you will realize your agenda. You will realize your purpose. You'll be able to live without regret because you'll continue to move in the direction that you were formed for, right? Because, yeah, you were created for greatness, right? So my final question is, have you really committed to yourself? Have you committed to anything? Mastering anything can give you a new level of pride and confidence. And that's really accomplishing your full potential. I don't know if you've ever heard of Lisa Nichols. She's also a wonderful inspiration. Like, she is a motivational speaker. She is the transformation guru. She is the CEO and founder of Motivating the Masses. Now, one thing that Lisa says is that wealth is money, but abundance, which is the kind of life you want to live when you reach your full potential, is abundance is a 360 experience. That means abundance is all around you. Your potential is exuding from you, right? And what she shared was that in your life journey, you have to drastically transform yourself and realize that you are your own rescue, that you're your own definition. She tells the story of struggling in school, working in the accounting industry where she was fired. And it wasn't until she looked at her 8-month-old baby and wondered how she would buy Pampers or how she would have milk for her baby that she realized that she would make the transition to where her life had meaning for her, that she decided to go and learn how to create the life that she wants. She's an ordinary woman making extraordinary moves, and that is living your full potential. So I invite you today to do not live with regrets, but live by realizing your full potential, understanding your strengths, building on your strengths, overcoming your weaknesses, knowing what it is that you want to accomplish, getting the distractions off your path so you can accomplish them, finding a mentor that resonates with your heart spirit, and then commit to creating the life that you want by taking your ordinary life and making extraordinary moves so that you can be your own rescue, that you can be your own success story. So with that, guys, I want you to remember, you are blessed to be a blessing. And it's your girl, Dr. Swag, always reminding you, peace, love, and happiness to you.
Glad you joined our conversation. For more Swag University episodes, subscribe on iTunes and help us level up by leaving a 5-star review. For more information and free resources, visit our website at swaguniversity.com with 2 G's. That's SWAGG University.com. Also, follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter to keep the conversation going. Until next time, we hope this episode has inspired you to manifest your destiny and level up today.